Hey everybody, welcome back to another Eagles Nest Finals video. We have Marshmallow here who won our tournament today. 8 players in attendance, but he did go 3-0. We have the standings here. It'll be updated as soon as the last couple of players finish. But back to his deck list. Marshmallow, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, my man. Thank you so much. We're out here trying to do our best. Uh, Played OTK Meruki TS slop. Nothing too special about it. This is what I've been on since the format has pretty much come out
Yep,
because of how I think aggressive security stacks are these days.
yep.
If you hit I think we saw multiple times throughout the day that if you just like hit a Marcus in security, you die. Unfortunately, on the crackback.
Yeah.
So I just want to play a deck that kills my opponent in a single turn, this is in my opinion, the best deck at doing so.
Well, before we get too much into what the deck is all about, for people who don't know who you are, do you mind introducing yourself?
Oh, I mean, who doesn't know me, honestly? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I have a small little YouTube channel. I do streams where I talk about like my regional tops or like my prep for nationals or even just like about the current meta and things of that nature. So if you're interested, check me out. Same name as here, MarshmallowRuffian.
I'll link your YouTube in the description. And so
Thank
here
you.
we
It's
have
very
your
popular.
deck. It's a TS variant. What do you call
Mm-hmm.
your deck?
It's just Meruki OTK slot. So you just do Meruki OTK. I
Hmm.
had the slop at the end though because it's TS. So
Meruki OTK. It's more of a
yeah.
Meruki OTK than a slop, I guess, because you're kind of focused more on your sixes than other TS decks are. And how do you play the deck?
Yeah. Well, typically you really want to search for like an opening hand that has a Hiroko and like a rookie of some kind.
Hmm.
A promo rookie is nice because it lets you cheat out some memory, but
Hmm.
if it doesn't have to be a promo rookie. You're mainly just trying to like dig through your deck as quickly as possible to find pieces. Um, and opening a hand with a lot of pieces can be nice. The issue is that you really want to do everything in a single turn. So searchers are typically more valuable turns 1 and 2 rather than a Maruki and like a Sylphian hand.
Right. And can you explain how the OTK is done with Meruki?
Yeah, of course. The traditional OTK is actually really straightforward once you understand the way it goes about. It requires around 7 memory to do, which sounds like a lot, but depending on what your board looks like, you can actually cheat out a lot more. Like Hiroko, for example, cheats out 4 memory, meaning that you only need 3 memory. You play the memory boosts in the deck. The tamers will net you like 1 memory each at the start of main phase, and then the rookie itself will also cheat you 2 memory. So there's a lot of ways to kind of like mitigate the absurd cost that it takes to get to the OTK. But usually you promote the Goma,
Hmm.
and then you will use the Goma effect to just Evo for free into like say Agio. Agio will add top card security, play out the Dan Yuki, and then from there you will play out a level 4. Either you played it out using Hiroko or you just have the memory to do it. You play out a level 4, usually going to be the Garuru, but you can also use the Cyclone in this scenario. They just need to be either I believe it's green or red for the Sylphie secondary effect to
Hmm.
DNA. Yes, it's green or red. And then you will swing with the Agio, doing 1 check. You're fine because you have barrier. And then you will DNA into Sylphie, getting sec +1.
Hmm.
From this point, depending on what your memory situation looks like, and depending on what your opponent's board state looks like, you can either hard Evo into Meruki for 3, or you can swing first with Sylphie and then Evo into Meruki for 3. Then you will be able to unsuspend using Meruki's effect. Choose when dissolving unsuspend. Then swing in for Meruki again for 2 more checks. That's a total of 5 checks right there. And then we are playing the Bukamon Egg, which gives us the inherit that just says at the end of your turn, by paying 1 cost, this blue Digimon with the TS trait unsuspends. Meruki also happens to be blue, so you'll unspend the Meruki, and then you can use the Danyuki end of turn effect to swing for game, doing all 6 checks in a single turn.
All right, so a question for you. If it's a Meruki OTK deck, how come you have equal number of Neptune and Meruki and not playing 4 Meruki?
Because Neptune actually functions the exact same way as a Maruki does. It's just a little bit less flexible for the OTK. With Neptune specifically, you had the Evo on top of the Sylphie first before you actually swing with it. Whereas Maruki, you can do either or. The plus side of Neptune, though, is that there are a couple decks in the format that I think really are good at like redirecting you or being like immune to Digimon effects and setting up like a big blocker that even Maruki won't be able to interact with. And so Neptune kind of help with those like gummy board states. It's the same reason why we're playing Minervamon. They're like secondary things that you can kind of fall back on. I think that the deck probably is better if you just go fully in on the Meruki OTK style deck. However, I like personally having a little bit more control over my game plan. And so if my opponent throws something at me that's a bit, out there, I can guarantee that I'll have a out for it of some variety.
Again, I'm most used to seeing Minerva in TS slop decks as a 4 of. You have it only as a 2 of. It's Venus is not even in the deck, so why no Venus? Why only 2 Minerva?
Well, unlike Neptune, Minerva and Venus don't actually help us kill our opponent. And I think that because of the way that we've currently built the deck, we're not going to be winning in these like long grind games, either against other TS decks or even against decks like Medusa. It'll be hard for us to continuously remove their board and then be able to create something that's going to stick long term because of the style that we're playing in. So Minerva and Venus actually don't have that much utility in our deck.
Mhm. We do have 3 Abyss Sanctuary. Is this? I don't think you always had this in your deck. It's if I remember correctly, it's a new addition. What's this
Yes, it
doing
is
in
a
your
newer
deck?
edition for sure. It's because I am playing for Dan Yuki, so I really want to try and get maximum value out of the Tamer. I'm typically able to open it like turn one, and if I don't have it in between, it feels really bad just playing a Tamer for 4 that nets you a memory every single turn. But if I end up having the Abyss Sanctuary in hand, I can then leverage it for a search, very similar in the same way that I would use the in between for. So
Mhm.
it ends up getting me more value over time, and so that's like the gist of it. It's also why we're not playing any of the other options because they don't accrue value over time to get us closer to our pieces to kill them.
And you were mentioning memory a lot before, saying you needed 7 memory to do your combo, but there's ways to cheat that to make it actually cost you less. I see you've got 4 in between theater, a gravity crush, and a blinding ray. Not everybody's really playing gravity crush and blinding ray. Maybe they can't find room for it, but
No,
you
that's.
do
I
like
think
this
it's an
card, so
absolute mistake. Yeah, I think. I mean, listen, these are mistakes that were printed by Bandai, and I think it's incorrect to not be using them in your list. The amount of games that I will have 100% lost, if not for top decking a Gravity Crush or Blinding Ray, and just being able to cheat 2 memory out from hand is absolutely disgusting. Both in my round 2 and in my round 3, there were times where, oh, my opponent knows how to play around my deck. Maybe they put me to exactly 5 while I have a Hiroko out, so I can't use the effect, or they put me to exactly 1 while I don't have enough memory or like the board state to actually do it. And then, unfortunately for them, I have the Blinding Ray in hand that I use to get that 2 extra memory that then makes the full combo possible. It's just not a fair or fun set of cards, and I think that if you're not playing them in a deck that can be making use of them, I think it is a mistake.
awesome. And do you have any closing comments about your deck?
Shout out to Spartan. Me and him have been testing this guy in the lab for a while, and I'm excited for BT25 because I've been on this deck for a couple months now, and I'm ready to move on from it.
Nice. Well, thanks, Marshmallow, for playing at Eagles tonight, doing the interview with me, and congratulations on coming in first. And we'll see more of
Thank you
you
so much, my
around.
man.
Have a good night.
Absolutely.